All right, this video today is for DMR number 3E. So we first have to practice the skill of prime factorization. We're going to use our factor trees. I'm going to think of two numbers I can multiply together to get 63. Remember, I can never use a 1 in a factor tree. So I am going to think about 7 times 9. 7 is prime, so I'm going to circle it, but 9 is not because I can do 3 times 3. And 3 is prime, so I'm going to circle both of those. So I don't have any more that I can do on my tree. I am left with 3 prime numbers. 3 times 3 times 7. I'm going to double check that really is 63. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 7 is 63, so I know I'm good. And then lastly, I'm going to write this using exponents. Since I have 2 3s, I'm going to write 3 to the second power times 7. Remember, you want your prime numbers down here written in numerical order. That's from least to greatest. All right, and then we have the prime factorization of 144. When I think of 144, I think of 12 times 12. Now, if you didn't think of that, another number we could always start with, if it's even, is that means we could divide by 2. So you could do 2 times something to get 144 if you struggle a little bit with your multiplication facts. All right, 12 is not prime. So each of these 12s is going to need to have a tree underneath them. For 12, I'm going to do 6 times 2, and 2 is prime. For 6, I'm going to do 3 times 2. 2 is prime, and 3 is prime. Now, the nice thing about already doing this 12 and having another 12 on the other side is it can look exactly the same. So it's really like I only have to do half of the work. So again, 6 times 2, circle my 2. For 6, 3 times 2, and circle both of them. All right, so I end up with 6 numbers circled. 6 numbers circled. So I'm going to write these 6 prime numbers in order from least to greatest. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4 2s. And I have 1, 2, 3s. All right. It'd probably be a good idea to check this. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 3, that's a little bit more difficult. That's 48. And then 48 times 3, you could work that out over to the side. That's 24. 12 plus 2, 144. So again, I would really make sure that you double check these, especially when you do your quiz over this DMR. Since we have 4 2s, it's going to be 2 to the 4th power. And we have 2 3s, so 3 to the 2nd power. And there is our final answer. 2 to the 4th power times 3 to the 2nd power. All right, now we're ready to distribute these fractions. In number 3, we're distributing a 1/3. So I'm going to do 1/3 times 6x. And then I'm going to do a 1/3 times 24. So let's back up to this 1/3 times 6x. Remember, we can put the 6x over 1, and then we can multiply straight across. So we get 6x over 3. 3 goes into 6 2 times, so that leaves me with 2x. 1/3 of 6x is 2x. Next, I'm going to do 1/3 times 24. I'm going to put that 24 over 1. Multiplying straight across, I get 24 over 3, and 3 goes into 24 8 times. So 1/3 of 24 is 8. Lastly, I need to look to see that there's a plus sign right here. So I want a plus sign down here, and I need to box in my answer. For number 4, I'm distributing 1/5. So I'm going to do 1/5 of 15x. And then I'm going to do 1/5 of 30. There we go. All right, 1/5 of 15x, putting that 15x over 1, multiplying straight across, I would get 15x over 5. 5 goes into 15 3 times, so that leaves me with 3x. So that means that 1/5 of 15x is 3x. Next, 1/5 times 30, I'm going to put my 30 over 1. Multiply straight across, I would get 30 over 5. 5 goes into 30 6 times. So 1/5 of 30 is 6. And lastly, I'm going to bring down this subtraction sign between these two terms, and I am finished.